Hi there, welcome to the Pure Energy Healing Academy. Welcome to markbayersky.com. It's a beautiful day today. I'm not so sure if I've tackled this in great depth, but maybe I'll try today and see how we go on. Today we're going to talk about the root cause of arthritis, and this is not going to apply to everybody because there's other reasons why arthritis can kick in, but I will give you examples of patterns that I saw through the 2 decades of healing clients with severe arthritis. So first of all, the root cause of arthritis, what do I believe it is? Well, after working with clients who had terrible issues of movement, the joint pains, the just the awfulness of having to live with it, when we did our healing, and this is really good for healers out there, at the back of the head on the right hand side, if you focus your hands on the right and sometimes on the left at the back, round about here, you'll find you'll get the most relief for your clients over the next week or so. So it could be that what the root cause is stress. I believe it's more frustration personally, and that frustration is normally of our life and our day-to-day obstacles. So I'll give you an example. A lot of my clients who had arthritis later in life or even fairly young, they felt stuck and they couldn't move forward. They couldn't see a future because of no fault of their own. And that could be, give you an example of one of my clients. She was looking after her mother, and she did not want her mother to go into a home. Other 2 sisters were telling her to put the mum in the home, and she said no. So she basically looked after her full time. She was an artist, and she never had any time to do what she wanted to do. She was asked to travel because she was a good artist, and yeah, she was stuck. And that feeling of frustration coupled with never having any time for yourself and your full focus is on somebody else, there can be a trigger or some kind of issue that kicks into your body and starts to turn into a physical issue, and that physical issue can be arthritis or a stiffness of neck. It can start with shoulders, joint pains, back is predominantly one of them too, knees, feet, hands, and just joint pains all over. It's like, oh yeah. So feeling stuck, feeling rigid, feeling as if you can't move or do anything. You can't. There's no flexibility in your life at all. You're just rigid and you're frozen and you're stuck. So that was one of the key tail signs for me when somebody had arthritis. I'd know that they were stuck in some kind of relationship, or they could be stuck in a relationship with a partner who was demanding and didn't allow their partner to be free or to do anything she wanted to do, to think for herself. So she was in an abusive relationship. The other one is being stuck in a position of working. So I had another guy who used to come to me, and he'd worked as, I think it was a biologist or something like that. And he worked there for 20, nearly 30 years of his life. His dream was to do something completely different, and he wanted to be, I think, self-employed, but because he had 4 children, a wife who used to like to spend quite a lot of money, she always came with expensive jewelry and fur coats and stuff. It's like, wow. So he couldn't move forward. He daren't risk leaving his job and doing something that he wanted to do. If I'm right in thinking, he wanted to work with trees, and he wanted his own business that he could be like cutting and taking care of trees, not like a gardener but an expert on trees, because that was his hobby, but more his fascination. Yeah, looking back on all these people, you could see that there was a frustration of not being able to, just doing that, and frustration, you can feel that. That makes sense. You can feel how your joints become, So the other thing is as well, I did notice that within a lot of people with arthritis is that they were quite I want to be careful here because it's not with everybody, but I did notice that a lot of them found it very difficult to have the willpower as well to do something for themselves. And I found that they ended up in a situation where they would blame everybody else for what they do. So it's all their fault because I can't do something, whereas actually it isn't their fault. It's your fault for not saying no and just saying yes to everybody else. So this is just some of this is my thought. This is one. Now we could go down different paths and talk about other things here, very easily talk about many different things, but why don't we see if we can try and help? Even if you said to me, Mark, no, that's not me at all, this just happened because of this reason, I'd probably say, oh yeah, that's another reason. So there's so many, but let's tackle one at a time, and let's forget about that now. So let's move on to how we can make a difference and help. Well, obviously the first thing I'm going to say to you is you have to find ways of being able to be strong enough to say no. So whatever the situation you're in, no. So you don't have to say it all the time, but you can say it sometimes. Not today. Today I'm going to take time for myself. Today I'm going to do something that makes me happy. So what are the things that help? Well, making yourself happy is the first thing because you clear the stress. Going for a healing session and working on the back of the head here is a fantastic way of relieving the pain. I used to say to people, arthritis is painful, right? And it's painful because of a certain reason. So the way I used to describe it is this. There's something at the back of the head here that if you can heal, it won't feel so raw. And that little muscle at the back of the head is like the nervous system for your pain threshold. So if it's all raw and damaged, any little pain will send a trigger to that and it'll be more painful. I found after healing up here that the pain lessened each time they came for a healing session. And so it was like, imagine a beep, beep, beep. And every time it goes to the highest beep of the scale, that's the most painful threshold. Every time they came for a healing session, it would go down. And then when it came back up again after the healing session, it would never go that far up. So healing sessions with a good healer helps strengthen that little muscle. This is the only way I can explain it. It does a lot more than that, okay? Because it releases energy as well. When you have a healing session, it releases energy. And one thing I noticed is like joint issues and joint pains within the knuckle, in between there's a kind of like, let's say, when you've cooked some meat, some beef, and it's like dripping, and when it's hot, when the dripping's hot, it's all in between, it's all hot and it's all melted like liquid. But when it gets cold, it hardens up, and now the muscles can't move, and that's when the pain starts. So as a healing session, when you start to give somebody healing at the back of the head or at the joints where they are, it's almost like it makes that hardened fat soft and liquidy, so it moves more. That's just trying to explain in that way, but I'm talking about in an energetic energy vibration way. It's very difficult to explain, but it does make a massive difference to the movement. Meditation is absolutely vital for arthritis. Okay, if you can do any kind of yoga or movement, vital, because I can't do that. You can, and the more you do it, the more you'll find you're not as in pain through the day. So good, healthy exercise where people are watching you as yoga, easy stretches, movements are vital. But meditation is really important, because if you imagine you are saying to your body, I am giving myself time. When you say that to your body then starts to heal itself, and that rigidness, that frustration, that the blocks and the worries just dissipate within that short space of time of 10 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. And if you do that on a regular basis, even if it's 3 times a week, if you can do it once a day, brilliant. But if you miss, no problem. But the more you do it, the more you'll find your arthritis becomes less and less and less. And I have seen my clients go from severe arthritis to manageable, no problem at all. And in some cases where they got completely better. Just as a side note, I had medical records. I don't have them anymore. But the medical records were x-rays on my back saying that my back was corroded and I had to be on medication. And I used to have a hot shower every morning for many years, because I used to lift pianos. I was brilliant at lifting, but eventually it corroded my back, or so they said. I now can lift anything. I have no problem at all. So when people say you can't change something because of bones and things like that, I would beg to differ through my own and through my clients' visual, watching them grow stronger and stronger. I had one client who had a car accident, and she once came up to my room. She couldn't actually walk. She was pushing in a wheelchair. Within 2 years, which she was walking, and now she's walking everywhere. That's Barbara, and her husband's on the wall there, Brian. Barbara is, and because she believed, she knew she could do it. And she worked on that, and she did. The body listens when you speak. Moving on to your thoughts. Your thoughts are vital to your body. If you tell yourself every day that you have arthritis, you are confirming to your body, and your body then starts to make the arthritis worse. If you say to yourself, I do not have arthritis, I have a healthy body and there is no issues in my joints, you'll find that your body will listen to that and hear that, and then start to work accordingly to clear away all of the pain and suffering that will go. Some of the things that can help, like I said, meditation, yoga, finding time for yourself, meaning you're not thinking about anybody else but just yourself. You're finding time to find the joy and the happiness, things like that. So some tools that can help. There are a lot of oils that you can use for the joints, which are fantastic. So for me, I love Palo Santo. I work with Palo Santo. It's fantastic. Sage, I find that fantastic as well. And there are other things that you can use, and you can go out and speak to highly trained specialists with oils. For me, crystals, on my understanding of crystals, which may be different from yours, one of the things that I like to use is, there's so many. I would say copper agate, that's a good one. Copper is fantastic. I love copper, fantastic for arthritis. You can wear them on bracelets, or you can wear one around your neck. It will help your body, and it will help the whole of your body, which is great. Pyrite is fantastic. Ruby in Zoe. Zoe site. Ruby in Zoe site. That was a good crystal for my clients when they had arthritis. Cheetah agate is fantastic as well. What else? I think they're okay. I think that they're pretty good one. I mean, for the blood flow as well, I'd be looking at opal and pearl, fantastic as well. So you can wear them through the day as well. I'd look to what, hey, I'm not a health expert, but for me, you've got to look to the roots. Roots every day. So for me, if somebody had arthritis, I'd be saying, this is my own opinion, drink ginger every day, drink turmeric every day, And like the teas, I'd be looking at, I don't know, nettle, fantastic. Nettle, licorice. Licorice is good as well, I think. It is. Licorice. There's an eagle outside. So that's nice. I think that's it. I don't really want to go on too much about it, but more of the spiritual side if you work on your head. So if you want to know how to try and heal yourself, lie down, place one hand here and one hand out, so you're bringing in the energy and you're blasting energy at your head. So lie down like this. That's a good way for about 10 or 15 minutes. You don't need to think about anything. You don't need to like try and pull anything in of any. It will just happen naturally. And you'll feel the warmth getting warmer and warmer, and this will get warmer and warmer. If you can do that once or 3 times a day, you'll see within a matter of months, wow, things are changing. I'm feeling better. I'm feeling, ooh, this is really good. So, I mean, I don't want to leave it too long. 15 minutes is fine. 15 minutes, little help towards your healing yourself, both mind, body and spirit. Have a great day. Hope you enjoyed it. Any of the products that I've shared with you are on markbayerski.com, but you can support your local crystal store, and please support your local herb store. And always remember, organic is the way forward. Have a great day. Take care.